What's up, everybody? Nobody's on yet, but if you are, once you are, let me know how the sound and picture quality is, please. So we know that that it's okay. I guess I just am most so there's not dead air because that's not never good. So starting to see a few folks pop up now. So let me know how the sound and picture quality is, please. Shannon says, "Hey there, happy Thursday." Hello, Shannon. John over on Instagram. We're not doing TikTok today because I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood. So, yeah, when you get on, let me know how the sound and picture quality is, and we'll get into it at about 5 after because that's about how long it takes for people to show up. Russell, Freddie Edmonds, say, Chris, hope you're well, man. I hope you are as well. Keith says, hello, Chris. Hello, Keith. Get started in about 3 or 4 minutes, but I just want to give everybody a chance to get warmed up. MD says, good. Keith says, I'm here for the weirdness. Ahmed says, hello. Hello, Ahmed. Yeah. I'm going to do you the courtesy of not trying to pronounce that. Says hello. Somebody on, let's see, John says hi on Instagram. Somebody else says hi on Instagram, not feeds, it looks like. We get started at about 4:05. It's currently 4:02. If anybody has anything they'd like to ask me in before we get started, go ahead and drop those in. Also, in today's presentation, let me go ahead and announce this. There is going to be a slice of pizza hidden somewhere in the presentation. And the first person that points it out will, and the first and only the first, so don't be needy if you don't get it first. I will say who's first, and I won't be questioned about it. But the first person that points it out will get $6 in legit bucks to spend on legit. So, yeah. Russell Freddie Edmonds said, I'm not gonna lie, when first saw the thumbnail, I thought you had just bought the Sith Lord starter kit. Hello there, everyone, says Monari. Hello, Minari. Like I say, we'll get started in just a few minutes. The numbers are starting to pile up now, which is good. If anybody has any questions or anything before we get into it, I got a nice presentation we're going to go through. And remember, if you are the one to spot this slice of pizza somewhere in the presentation, you win $6 in legit bucks for your legit wallet. Alex over on, I was going to say Twitter. I'm trying to start saying X. Over on X, it says, hi, everyone. Hello, Alex. X gets good amount of viewers on these streams, but it doesn't get good engagement. I'm wondering if it's just like a consequence of the format. No, we're not going to talk about that. Sorry, that's just not the point of this streams, and I'm sick of covering that. So you're just gonna have to figure it out for yourself and work harder. Who did the thumbnail? Lahiru did the thumbnail. Mr. Hawkins talking weirdness. I'm near your way soon. Do you want to meet for a coffee? I thought you Brits had tea. I thought that's have I been misled? You can address me as says that's or Mohammed. Mohammed is actually going to be easier. D says that. Yeah, we're going to go with Mohammed because I can pronounce that. All right, we're going to get started. I'm going to give it one more minute and then we are going to get into it. Aaron says, Ayu, we definitely know you are not normal. Why, thank you. I'd like to request the Zoom meeting with the owner to discuss some ideas and opportunities. No, it's not. I'm going to decline that request. If you have some suggestions, you can always message them into support, but I can't be doing a Zoom meeting, especially for someone that just asked me how to get orders. So best of luck, but no Zoom meeting. All right, we are going to go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to be able to see the questions until I get done with it, so you can put them in at any time and I will answer, but I'll answer at the end, so don't think I'm ignoring you. Or if you do, that's fine. Anyhow, let me go ahead and share my screen. I almost forgot to do that. All right, I want you all to know that I am not normal. That's a clickbaity thumbnail, but it's a very true title. So let's get into it. But before we do, I want everyone to respond to this and let me know in the chat or in the comments or whatever it is, wherever you're watching. Do you think that you are normal? Yes or no? Are you normal? Yes or no? We will move on as soon as I get some responses. So let me know, are you normal? Aaron says no. Kaylin says absolutely not. Shannon says I'm definitely not. All right, so Jake says super normal, the most normal out there. Russell Freddie Edmonds says probably not. All right, so we get the idea. So before we get into this, let's talk about what is normal. What we're going to talk now about is what I'm going to use Americans as the standard here because that's what I know and that's what the research I did for this presentation is about, but it applies pretty much universally with some small tweaks. So just kind of accept that going in. But what is normal? Normal is people that go to school for 13 years. So at least in the United States, kindergarten through 12th grade. Then they go to 4 years of college. Usually they take out a big loan or get some kind of grant or something to pay for that because it's obscenely expensive. Then they go and they get a job, sometimes using that degree, sometimes not, where they work on average 36.4 hours a week, according to the 2 minutes of Google I did for each slide for this presentation. But what's really appalling to is even though they work 36.4 hours a week, which is what, like 7-ish hours a day, assuming a 5-day week, they do on average, and they are very average, 2 hours and 54 minutes of work a day in that 8-hour workday. And and you know how long they repeat this cycle of only doing about a third of their day of work is for 40 plus years. You know what they get rewarded for with those 40 plus years of doing subpar work is about $42,000 a year. That's again an average according to the Google, the little bit of Googling that I did to research this. They're also really unhealthy. 97% of Americans are unhealthy. Now I know that's an arbitrary term, but it's true. And you know, if you've met any Americans, all you really have to do is look around and see that it's absolutely true. So there's that. Most Americans are unhealthy. Being unhealthy is normal. Being unhappy. I did some research on this. And again, happiness is an arbitrary thing, but the majority of Americans are unhappy or unsatisfied. And the worst part, they have no obsession, no desire, no motivation to change any of this. In fact, being normal has been programmed into us as the thing to do. You want to strive to be normal. If someone is not normal, people will try to change them and convince them to become normal because that's what they think it is. So, are you normal? I don't know. Some of you said you are. Some of you said you aren't. We're going to continue, and I'm going to tell you that I am not normal. That's hard for me to say. I want to fit in just as much as everybody else does, but I really don't, and you'll see why here. The truth is, I have never been comfortable being comfortable or normal. I've taken massive risks in my life. Once I had a regular, pretty good job, paid well, had benefits, easy schedule, and I quit that to go work full time in politics because that's what my passion was at the time. And eventually that didn't work out, and I went back into IT. And then I quit all of that. I quit that once I had an even better job with even better benefits and even better schedule and security and stability to go do what I'm doing now. So I have never been fine with being where I am. Even now, I feel agitated and want to do more. And we're going to talk about that because I have massive, unfathomable, unreasonable things that I still want to achieve. And that's not normal. Most people are happy with the routine life that we just talked about, being normal, being average, being routine. But I personally work 12 hours a day, and I do actual work during that time. I don't, when I say a 12-hour day, I mean actual 12 hours, or let's be generous and say 10 hours of actual work time in those 12 hours. I don't do, 30% of the day is just fucking around like it is for a lot of people, like we talked about before. That's not normal. But the thing is, I don't actually work at all in that time in the way that normal people define it. Normal people look at work as a thing that you unfortunately have to do in order to survive or to get by or to pay the bills or to be able to eat. I look at work as a thing that I'm pumped to get up and do at the beginning of the day, and I'm bummed at the end of the day when I've either run out of stuff to do for that day or I don't have the energy to continue, because what I do fulfills me and gives me purpose and motivates me to do more and do better and produce more things and help more people and frankly make more money. When I say work, I don't mean that negative thing that normal people that hate to do and avoid at all costs. I mean the thing that motivates me to get out of bed. So to me, I feel like I do zero work. I make very good money. I'm not going to get into the numbers with you because it doesn't matter because that's completely subjective. Truthfully, I don't really care about that, at least not directly. Don't get me wrong. I like things. I like not having to stress about making bills and making rent and, looking at the check when I go out to dinner and things like that. But money is not the ultimate goal for me, although it is part of what you have to do to achieve the things that we're going to talk about and to not be normal in a good way. I'm also in better health than 90% of people, and I'm biologically 10 years younger than my actual age. I've spent a lot of time, money, resources, and energy improving that because it helps me do the other things that we're going to talk about. And unfortunately, that's not normal. People will ignore their health until something is wrong. Then they'll go to the hospital or the doctor and get a pill or get a surgery to quote unquote fix it and go back to normal rather than being ahead of it and being healthy and being able to be the best version of themselves and produce at a high level. I'm also gloriously happy. Now, I don't mean that I'm happy all the time, because if you try to be happy all the time, you're going to be unhappy because that's unattainable. But I have a purpose. I know that purpose. I work towards fulfilling that purpose. I enjoy the process of fulfilling that purpose, even when it sucks, even when it's hard. And that's how you become happy, is to work on things and do things that give you gratification, satisfaction, and meaning in your life, not just some constant state of pleasure and euphoria. So and most people unfortunately do not have that because they're doing work that they hate. They're stuck in bodies that are miserable and don't work for them. They don't make enough money to fulfill the desires that they have. They're spending time in school and things that they hate. And unfortunately, they are not fulfilled and not happy and not working on things that they enjoy. But see, for me, I'm able to do those things. And it's because I want to be someone whose name everybody knows. There are people that we can all name. I want to be one of them. Maybe that's grandiose. Maybe that's, arrogant or narcissistic. I don't care. I want to be forgot. I want to be remembered. I want to build a historic company that changes the face of business. I don't want to just make a business to make money. I want to make a business that makes a lot of money as a consequence of doing something great that changes the world and helps businesses and helps them grow and helps them do something fantastic. I said I don't care about money, but money is the way that you make these other things happen. I want to make so much money that they change the name of money to Chris, because I have so much money. And that's not because of the money itself, but because that means I've done something so important and so meaningful that I get that much money as the reward or the score to whatever, to make sure that, to prove that that worked. I want my voice to echo through time after my contemporaries, which is what most people would call competitors, have faded to a dim whisper. I want to, like I said, I want to do something historic. I want to make history. I want to do things that are not normal. And guess what? I am going to achieve all of this and more so, but normal isn't going to get it done. Normal is not enough. Mediocrity is not enough. You have to start being excellent, and to achieve these big things, to achieve anything of meaning, you have to have excellent health. You have to have excellent education. You have to have, and when I say education, I don't mean in the Western college sense. I mean, you have to know things. You have to know people. You have to do excellent things. So normal is not going to get it done. So what does any of this have to do with you? Well, what it has to do with you is you shouldn't settle for normal either. Don't settle for normal education. And what I mean by that is learn valuable skills that you can apply towards whatever it is that you want, gives you motivation and gives you satisfaction and helps you work towards goals that will help you achieve things that help other people, that help change the world. Don't settle for normal. Don't settle for an ordinary partner. I skipped over this when I was talking about myself because, well, I forgot to put that in the presentation, but a lot of people will settle for the first person that gives them attention or says yes to them, but doesn't push them to be better, doesn't improve their life, isn't a partner, is either makes their life more miserable or is completely subservient to them. Don't settle for ordinary. Settle for someone that is on the same page as you and that you make each other's lives better. Do not settle for a normal income. A normal income is something that most people can't actually be happy with because we live in a material world, and I am not a material girl, but you do have material needs that do require money. And to have the comfort to be able to focus on a purpose, you have to have more than normal income. You just can't get it done. It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. So don't settle for normal income. Do things that will make you enough money to focus on the things that will actually make you happy. Do not settle for average health. Because that your body, if your body is lethargic or miserable or sick or incapable of doing things that you want to do, you aren't going to be able to achieve anything big. You aren't going to be able to achieve anything meaningful. You're going to be focused on just not being sick anymore. Do not settle for a mediocre business. If you are in business, don't just settle for being yet another agency or yet another e-com store or yet another car wash or whatever. Be the best at it. Be excellent at it. Be the one that people make synonymous with that particular type of business. Even if you can't do that, because by definition, only one can be the best, strive to be the best at all costs. Put that above everything. Don't settle for being normal. Don't settle for being mediocre. Excel to be the best. Do not settle for not having an impact. Having an impact is huge. It's how big, historic, wonderful, glorious businesses are built. It's the way that everybody that you've ever heard of, it's what matters. It's how impact is what builds historic businesses. Don't do work that you only do as an obligation and thus as little as possible. I know that that's a bit of a privilege that I have, but you can work towards having that as well. You may have to eat some shit for a while and do something you don't like, but in the long term, you're never going to do anything significant. You're just going to be normal if you settle for work that you just do as just to survive. Stop surviving and start living and start fulfilling. Don't be normal. Be extraordinary. Be obsessed. Be remembered. And commit to excellence. Commit to being excellent. Commit to obsess about it. Be the best. Do your best to be the best and provide the best for everyone around you, customers, clients, family, friends, yourself, everyone. Commit to excellence. Do not be normal. Now, you might be thinking, what's in this for me? Why do I give a shit if you are normal, if you are healthy, if you have a good business, if you are a person of impact and consequence? Why do I care what you do? And the answer is directly, what's in this for me? Nothing. Having said that, my hope is that you will be inspired to become obsessed and build something that will change the world. And that thing that you build will help me fulfill my vision and my purpose, because the more glorious things we have in the world, the more things we all have to take advantage of, to help each other, to grow, to scale, to become the best version of ourselves. So I'm hoping that if I can get one person to stop thinking average, stop thinking linear, stop thinking mediocre, and inspire them to do something wonderful, that we can both do something wonderful and big and not normal together. And who knows, maybe you'll have the opportunity to give me some money somewhere along the way, because, you know, it does take money to make this work. So join me. Don't be normal. I'm not about to sell you anything if that's what you think is coming, by the way. This is just something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I wanted to share it with the world. So I got through that quickly. It took me about 15 minutes, but I want to ask this question. Who is in? Who is going to commit to not being normal? Who is going to be excellent? Who is going to make the world a better place? Who is in? Let me know in the chat or in the comments, please. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you commit to being not normal. Alex says 100%. Russell Freddie Edmonds says I'm in. Ahmed says in. Mohammed says count me. Excellent. Everybody wants to be somebody. Nobody wants to be normal. That's what we need. That's what the world needs. All right. That was kind of what I had for you today. I know that we're only about 20 minutes in, but let's see if we got any questions here. Let's see. Alex says not yet. Kale, who's been on the channel before, says, I used to travel 3 hours a day to get to the office in London. What a waste of time. Pizza on the unhealthy slide where the burger and pizza was. All right, there's our winner, Mohammed. I think that's your username, right? DSazatex. I'll search that out. MD says okay. Raul says hello. Sure, Mr. Edmonds will arrange a suitable time. Dude, go away. I don't care. Shannon says thanks for the inspiration. Russell Freddie Edmonds says I'm in. Alex says 100. Ahmed says I'm in. Mohammed says count me. Excellent. All right. Well, I guess I will open the floor to questions and or comments or anything that you'd like to talk about. But that was kind of what I wanted to cover with you today. And I hope you enjoyed that. All right. Well, yeah. So I kind of don't know what else to say. We'll stick around for another 5 minutes or so if I don't get some engagement going. But that was kind of what I wanted to cover today. I don't want anyone to settle for mediocrity. I don't want anyone to just be comfortable being comfortable, because you have so much more potential. We live in a world where you have access to everything you could ever need as far as information at the click of a button in your pocket all the time. And, you know, I don't know, why be normal when you can be amazing? So I'll stick around for another 6 minutes unless the engagement picks up, and we'll go from there. It's this thinking that can change the world. Yeah, absolutely. Fooch says, bro, I feel attacked. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's probably for the best. You know, if it's, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I do want to push people out of where they are and to where they could be. So I'm sorry that you feel attacked, but it's for your own growth. Unless you're talking about that thumbnail. In that case, I get the joke. Yeah, by the thumbnail. Yeah, I get it now. Books or podcasts for inspiration. My favorite books, I guess the best one for this particular topic would be, and I know you're going to cringe at who I suggest here, but Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone is kind of a great one for this, as it's similar to this particular topic. I hope this is the right time to ask this. Does your agency mastery course have any material on internal organization for agencies or how to keep track of all the moving parts? I'm going to be honest, I don't think so. Maybe it does. I'm going to be honest, it's like 3 years since I made that, so I forget. I know that I talk about like my system for that and everything. I don't know. If not, I can add something if there's something that you need, or I can make some content on it here. But I think I talk about my processes, but I don't have like SOPs and things like that in it, if that's what you're looking for. Normal can be boring. Normal is boring. Alex says, thank you. Thank you, Alex. Russell Freddie Edmonds that says, fire always, my man. Thank you, Russell. Right, we got about 2 minutes or so left. And then I think we're going to wrap up because I don't really have, there's not a ton of engagement today, and I don't really know what else to say on the particular topic. And unfortunately, streams like this never get as much like views and comments and likes and engagement, but I think it's important, you know. I think it's something that's been on my mind, and I hope that somebody takes some value from it. So if even though it's not going to reach as many people, hopefully it reaches the people that it needs to reach, if that makes sense. All right, less than a minute remaining. Any last minute questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, or things you'd like to discuss other than how to get orders on Legit, because we're not talking about that today, or rarely ever. Loud Egg, which is Joe, says, I'll have to watch the replay. Thank you, Joe. Russell Freddie Edmonds says, this will be repeating on my mind and 9 till 2 a.m. I hope that's a good thing. All right, that's it. If anybody, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and turn on notifications. We'll be back again tomorrow with another live stream of some sort. If you're not watching this on YouTube, please go over there and subscribe. You can go to chrismwalker.tv, and that will get you a one-click subscribe. And that's it. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thanks for watching. You know, I hope you took something away from this and you'll go apply some of it today or tomorrow or as soon as you can, because I want you to excel, and I don't want you to be normal. All right, that's it. Have a great night. I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.